Okay. Great. Okay. We want to welcome everybody to the meeting tonight. I don't see any new folks. Help me out, Holly and Dennis. Do you see any new folks in the lineup?
No, I see nobody new.
Okay, all righty. Then we'll move on. But those of you that are longstanding members, thanks for coming in once again. Let's see. Okay, those of you that are longstanding members know all this stuff. So we'll move on past that. Well, because we're recording it and people will see it after we put it up on the YouTube channel, I am going to touch on this. First, camera exchange. If you go down there to buy a camera accessory and say you're with the photo club, they'll give you a discount, but you need to ask what the current discount is, okay? Because it changes. It's kind of like the flavor of the month, okay? So it might be on one particular brand of accessory or a different set of different things, okay? So I have found in my travels, and it's mostly due probably to COVID, is they've had to adjust some of their business practices. So then Photo Matrix is an HDR software program. And if you're not familiar with it, I'd recommend going to the site and downloading your trial version. And for club members, if you decide you want to, after you use the trial version, if you decide that you want to purchase it, we have a 25% discount code. And it used to be recorded in the file section of our Facebook page. Okay. But Holly told me that a lot of the stuff that I posted seemed to disappear after I deleted my Facebook account. So what we're going to do is I'll get with Beverly, and when the monthly agenda comes out, the second page has links to our sponsors, okay? So I will put the discount code, I'll have her put the discount code on the monthly agenda. So you'll be getting it that way, okay? We'll talk more about the Greater New Braunfels Art Council later tonight. Digital Pro Lab and Final Works are two professional print labs that support our print competitions. And when we used to do actual print work, gallery type stuff, they helped us out quite a bit. And I'm sure things starting to get back to normal. Hopefully we can get back into that relationship as well. Plus, we're also affiliated with the Photographic Society of America. Okay. All right, next slide. Social media sites. This is how you can find us when we're not actively up and running in a Zoom meeting or in a face-to-face meeting. First thing we have is our website. That's the link up there at the top. And that's what the page looks like. So you know you found the right site when you get there, okay? And I'm going to talk about one of these later when we go to vote on the minutes, but you know, our current officers and our bylaws are there. If you want to join the club, you can click on that link there, fill out an application, and it gives an address to where you could send a check to, okay? The monthly assignment themes for the year, galleries of our previous assignments, and how to contact us if you have a question, and then upcoming events if you want to try to get ahead on a couple of things, okay? Then we have a Facebook page, and I'm not on it. I deleted my Facebook account probably almost a year now. Okay. But there's a lot of good stuff there. There's files, there's things that you can find. In fact, I understand in the file section, there's a sign up page for volunteers for a project that we have going in a couple of weeks. Okay. And I'll talk more about that later tonight. Okay. It also has different photo albums of the different galleries that we do. And for photos that we send off to the Photographic Society of America to be critiqued and scored, the results of that is posted on Facebook. Okay. So the photos go up first, and then when the results come back, Holly goes back in and posts the results in the comment section of those photos. Okay. All righty. Then we have a meetup site. That is another platform we can use, and for any of the upcoming face-to-face things that we're doing, which the last couple of months is just pretty much just been either a meeting at the Schertz Library or meeting for coffee. Okay. So try to include the New Braunfels Club in that event, along with people that used to belong to the Schertz Photo Club that turned into the South Central Texas Photo Club, but has since gone quiet. Okay, so we let them join too. We have a YouTube channel. Okay, right now we got 18 videos up there, and I will tell you that the most watched video is probably the very first video we posted, and it was on color management for photographers. Okay, from capture to print. All right, and if you haven't seen it, it's worth clicking on it and watching it. It's a little less than 2 hours, but it's a good educational video on color management. Okay, and next week I'm going to be doing one on HDR. Okay, and using the photometrics software, and I'll send I'll send that video to Holly so she can post it on the YouTube channel. Okay, and I'm going to start trying to do at least one educational video a month to be added to the channel. Okay, if anybody else wants to volunteer to do an educational video, just let me know. And if you don't have the Zoom link capability, I'll set it up for you. Okay. Okay. All right. So it is time to approve the minutes from last month. And since everybody here is old hands at this, you know the deal. Okay. You know where to go to find it. We always post our minutes and a link to the video for the meeting up on the web page under minutes and meetings. Okay. So let's see. Does anyone want to move a motion that we approve the minutes from
I'll
last
approve
month?
I'll approve the minutes.
I
Okay.
second.
All right, so we got a first and second. That was Ralph and Dennis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none opposed. The minutes carry. Okay. All right. We did that. All right. Treasurer's report. Sharon is here to give that to us. And here's the report for everybody to look at so they can give Sharon the third degree when she's done.
We started the month of September with $2,608.36. We had no income except the interest that we earn on our accounts. So that was 18 cents. So we ended up the month with $2,608.54. There is one check out that was outstanding as of the end of September. It's probably been cashed by now. That was related to the 4x4 cards designing. And I have one membership check that came just before we left for vacation, so that hasn't been deposited yet for $30. And that's it.
Okay, so Sharon, the 1930 is the check for, is that payment for the person that designed the info card?
I believe so. It was, Albert had apparently
Okay, but it was
paid
from,
for that, then I reimbursed Albert.
okay, super. All right. Well, that's very reasonable for what we got. And I'll share with everyone tonight what we got out for that $19.30. Okay. So good deal. And while we're talking finances, I just want to, I see Frank is here. Frank has volunteered to be the Audit Committee Chairman. Okay. And he is going to be assisted by Suzanne, who is not at the meeting.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, great.
I logged in late.
Okay, well, since you logged in late, you know we're being recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Frank and Suzanne are heading up the audit committee. Frank is the chairman, and sometime between now and December, when it is due at the monthly meeting, Frank will provide us with an audit report. Okay, so just everyone knows we're following the bylaws. Okay, and it will be completed by December. We on track to do that, Frank? And you're muted, Frank. I want it recorded, Frank.
Try this again.
You on track to do that?
Yes, we are on track to do that. Suzanne, I will reach out this month.
Super. Okay, moving on. Okay, club business. And the board met last week, and the selection for the 2022 assignment themes was conducted. And Holly will provide us with an overview of what the 2022 themes are.
I want to thank everybody who submitted ideas. We had over 70 theme ideas sent to the club. And what we did as a starting point was take any themes that that were submitted by multiple members and use this as a starting point. And then we only had 4 more to choose from the board. So as you can see, January will be artist choice. That means you can submit anything you want as long as it was taken after today's date. Today will be October 11th, 2021. So anything taken after today will be eligible for artist choice. It can be any theme. It can be black and white or color. You can pick. February will be black and white. March will be food. April will be water. And we also had a lot of suggestions for waterfalls. So this could include waterfalls if you'd like to shoot a waterfall. May will be macro. June will be street photography. July will be urban. August, bridges. September, animals. October, doorknobs. November, textures. And December, night. Does anyone have any questions? Awesome. Okay. Happy shooting.
All right. Thanks very much, Holly. Okay. The 2022 Board of Directors nominations. Is Ed here tonight? I thought I saw him earlier, but I don't see
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So Ed is our nomination committee chairman, and he had the current listing of officers that are running for 2022. Ed, do you want to fill us in on that?
Yeah, actually, it's the exactly the same ones that you have there on your list. I had no one else send me an email or ask to run. So what you have is what we have.
Okay, so we vote on this at the November meeting. Holly, can you refresh my memory on how we did that last year?
Last year, I don't think we had to, I think everybody stayed the same. So, no, because Melissa ran. I don't remember how we did it last year. I guess we voted over Zoom.
Well, for some reason, I was thinking you sent out an email to the entire club and they emailed back yay, nay, or
I'll look and see. I don't remember.
Victor,
yes.
if there are no other nominations from the floor in November, you can ask that the slate of officers be accepted by acclamation, and which will only require, in other words, you vote for everybody at one time. You know, like all in favor say aye, and that's it.
Yeah, seems like I remember that too. Okay. And I think you had to remind me of that last year too. Okay. All right. So great. So this is the slate that we'll present in November without someone send us a name that they'd like to add to it before the November meeting. Or sends Ed a name they'd like to add to it before the November meeting. And then we'll ask if there's anyone at the meeting, and then we'll do what Homer said if we have no other nominations. Okay. All righty. PSA Interclub competition. Dennis, if you can bring us up to speed on that.
Well, we've got all of the pictures that were submitted. They're going to go out to we've taken all the pictures. There were like 30 of them, and all the members of the selection committee are to pick 6 of their choices, and we'll put all those together, and the selection committee will meet here in the next 2 weeks and pick the 6 that we send to PSA. When we get those 6, if there are people that are selected that haven't been selected before, they'll have to fill out a piece of paper for PSA, which I'll give them, and we'll submit that and the pictures right around the 1st of November to PSA. And the deadline is 15 November, so probably a month or so after that, we'll find out how we fared.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. And then the New Braunfels Arc League, is Daryl with us tonight?
No, he's not.
Okay. Ralph, are you still with the Art League?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Okay, then we do have an updated slide here for November 15th and December 4th. If you're interested in trying to participate in either one of those two, and I do believe we only post events that are open to the public, right, Holly?
Yeah, some of these you do have to be, you have to join and become a member, but it's like $25 or $30. It's not very expensive to become a member of the Art League. You don't have to be a displaying member. All of these you can participate in and not be a displaying member, which means being juried in to the main gallery.
Okay, great. So we've got small works for big holidays and jury day. That's the where you get juried in to be a displaying member, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, all
I
right.
think this one for Oktoberfest, you don't have to be a member and you can enter.
That's right.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the deadline's passed for that already.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah, and without you're seeing something I don't see Oktoberfest up here.
It's not up there.
Okay, great.
I was just looking at it today online, so that's why I remember that.
Okay, moving on. And then we have Vistas from A. Smith Gallery. Okay, and I got to tell you, some of the work that Dennis sent me for the interclub competition, there were some really nice landscape shots. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent in this club. You might want to go to that website and look at it and see if it's something you want to enter or take part in. Okay, then the Greater New Braunfels Art Council. Okay, we've got the Fall into Art Festival coming up in 2 weeks. And here's what we need right now. Without the last couple of days, someone went in and filled it. But we need one more volunteer for the 11 to 2 shift on Sunday to photograph Shakespearean actors, acrobats, comedians, costumes, you know. And I understand the sign-up sheet is posted in the announcement section of the Facebook group. Holly, have you checked that recently to see if it's still vacant? They still need someone on Sunday?
That's what Melissa told me, that they need an 11 to 2 shift covered on Sunday. It looks like that is, someone has signed up for that now.
Oh, really?
Oh, Anthony has. Thank you,
Yeah.
Anthony.
Oh, great.
but the-
Thanks, Anthony. Okay.
There's still an open slot from 2 to 4 on Saturday. I don't know. She didn't mention that needed covered, so she might have more information than what she told me that's on.
Yeah, I'll be filling that one.
Okay, Ralph's got that. And I guess we're covered. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay. And as everyone knows, Melissa is on vacation this month. Okay, so I'm just filling in. But it's my understanding that everyone is going to send their photos to Ralph, and then Ralph is going to give all the photos to the council. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sounds good.
All right. So
Ralph, you want JPEGs, right, that have been processed?
You can do either one. I'll process it, or you can process it.
Okay.
okay, great. Okay. So you get free entry into the event with a wristband if you're a volunteer. Okay. So what you need to do is show up at the table there at the entryway, tell them you're the photographic support for the event. They'll give you a wristband. But if you bring family members with you, the family members have to pay the entry fee. Okay. And then when you are finished with your shift, you need to return your lanyard back to the table so that the next person will be able to use it. Okay. I don't imagine they'll have, it's not going to be something that we can keep as souvenirs. They're going to be passing them around to all the different volunteers that come through the gate. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
Victor,
Yeah.
one question. Where do I, who's going to get all the pictures once they're processed?
Felicia. And I can tell you that, and I guess this is as good as time as any to let everyone know that Ralph and Holly are going to be recognized by the council at the Fall into Arts dinner on Friday night. Okay. And the two of them, we will be attending the dinner to represent the club and receive the award that they're being presented with by the council. Congratulations to both of you. It's well deserved. And do us proud while you're there. And with that, Ralph, you can ask Felicia if she has a marketing or person or a website person she'd prefer you to send them to at the dinner Friday night. Okay. All right. Okay. Outreach opportunities. This slide hasn't changed for the last few months, okay? The farmer's market, every Saturday from 9 to 1, we have an opportunity to submit an application and get a chance to put up a 10 by 10 tent, you know, and do membership outreach, okay? I've got the application filled out. I have not submitted it yet because I didn't want to do too many things in 1 month, okay? Trying to get volunteers for the Fall into Art, okay? So I'm gonna wait in maybe November or December, okay? Or if everyone thinks it's kind of cold during that time, then maybe we'll wait till the spring to do that, okay? We've got the Fall into Arts Festival as the 22nd to 24th. Wassail Fest, first Thursday of December.
Yeah, I've sent an email out to my contact with the city a couple of weeks ago, hoping for an update, and I haven't heard anything back yet, but I will let everyone know as soon as I know any information.
Okay. And then Friday night artwork is only for downtown businesses, but we thought we might be able to put some of our brochures at the Art League, okay? And we just need to, once they're printed, we're first going to use them at the Fall into Arts dinner. Then if whatever's left after that, we're going to see if we need to use them at the Fall into Art on Saturday and Sunday. And then go from there. If we need to print some more, then we can, and we need to check with the Art League to make sure it's okay with them. I'm sure it will be, but we just haven't made that face-to-face contact yet. So, okay. Okay, and this is what the front side of our 4x6 info card looks like. I can tell you that these photos are photos that scored very, very well in the interclub competition. We reached out to the artists for these photos, and I know 3 of them. I don't know the 4th one, but I know the Coffee Cup Man, Brian, and Holly. Who did the buffaloes?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And these all
great.
received awards of merit at the last interclub competition.
Cool. Okay, super. So that's the front side, and this is the back side. Okay. Holly, do you want to share with the club where we're at in getting those printed?
They should be here Monday, the 18th.
Super, super. Okay. So with that said, Holly, I want to ask you if, well, we need to talk offline about setting up the display Friday night. Since you and Ralph are going to be there,
Sure, no problem.
I'm going to ask if you could help with that. So, you know, okay. So that means I have something I need to get to you so you can use it on the display.
No problem.
Okay. September assignments and black and white photos were judged by PSA. There's the judge. Did we get a bio on the judge?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, it was sent out to everybody with all of their scores last month.
Okay, great. And the scoring system used was PSA's 3 to 9 point system. Okay. Been posted in our photo albums on the Facebook group. Scores and comments located under the individual photos in September's assignment and black and white albums. October 2021 assignment, that's this month, the ones we're looking at tonight, it says assignment black and white and color photos will be judged.
That's right, because we didn't have very many submissions. We had 30 total images across all 3 categories. So all 3 categories are getting judged this month.
Super. Okay. Okay, open discussion.
I just want to bring up a thing about the Lost Maples. I'm got reservations. I made reservations to go up there in November, the first part of November. Has anybody else going up there way or? No?
Oh, I've been there, but not really, not this year.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
So let me see if I can. No, it won't let me do it. All right, so I'm guessing by your silence, no one has any open discussion. Okay, then. Well, I want to go to, before I go to the next slide. Okay. I want to go to our club member that is on location, I think somewhere out west, and see how everything's going. Okay. We spared no expense in getting him out there. Michael? Is Michael's here, right?
I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is, but he was at Yellowstone, right?
Oh, Michael's back. He got back 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's back and he's out with his girlfriend today. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. I just wanted to compliment him on all the pictures he was posting on Facebook. I've heard from my wife that because of his pictures, we now have to go out there.
It's worth
Well,
it. Though.
I just wanted to thank him personally for adding a trip to my bucket list. All
Well,
right.
he's got lots of information on that. He loves it up there. So he was up there, what, 4 months this time, I think, 4 months, 5 months.
It was quite a while. I
Yeah.
mean, my wife still has Facebook, and I don't. So, but I keep hearing about his photos. So, okay. All right, moving on. It's time to review the assignment photos for the month, which was high key and low key. Okay. Each artist will have 2 minutes to tell us as much as they can about their photo. And I think tonight, because the number of photos were not that many, okay, we can stretch at 2 minutes if we have to, okay? So here come the assignment photos.
The first one is mine.
Okay.
My mom was so excited. She lives with us and she's always keeping an eye out for macro opportunities for me. And we'd had a rain last week and the tiny little rain lilies popped up. And so she was gathering some for her tortoises and found this tiny little baby orb weaver spider on one. And so she very carefully brought it over to the house and said, "Would you like to photograph him?" I'm like, yeah, of course. So I laid it down on my windowsill, which gets a lot of great light from outside. And it's a white windowsill. And I thought this will be perfect for high key. So I liked the composition. Of course, he was kind of sideways. I did lots of different photos and was very, very gentle and took my time and kind of moved slowly. But having him sideways so that the lily was laying flat looked silly. So I flipped it this way instead, portrait orientation. And I got great detail. It's hard to see it this tiny of a little thing, but his eyes are actually in focus and everything. I did a little bit of focus stacking, I think 3 images and put them together to get this shot.
Beautiful.
And it is a really nice shot, and I think you made a really great decision on going with the portrait orientation.
A
In
couple of
fact,
the other ones, he was all balled up. So I really liked it when he kind of relaxed and stretched out. It's cool.
all right.
And
Really
he was
great.
safely put back outside when I was done.
Way to go, Holly.
All right. Okay, Dennis.
Well, it's a pretty simple shot. It's this shack in the Death Valley desert, and it was taken at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which sort of lent itself to high key because the lighting was was fairly bright. So it's basically a very simple picture.
Good orientation of the cabin, good foreground interest all throughout. Nice job.
I like the mountains in the background. It leaves an open, the way you position your shot, I'll call it the shack, is in between the little cliffs or mountains there. It is very pleasing to the eye. A lot of texture in the building.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dennis. And Daryl's not here, right? He didn't sign in. And I'm trying to keep up with it, but I can only see 6 people on my view since I'm running the PowerPoint. That's the most I see without
I
you
don't
speak.
see him on the participant list at the moment.
Okay,
No, he's not there.
okay.
Well shot. Very nice.
Brian, you want to tell us about it? Brian, you're muted.
Kind of hard to hear when it's muted. Let me try. Can you hear me now? Okay. This obviously is a bird in flight. It was taken in Breckenridge Park. It was actually a mistake in my exposure. And I thought, dang, that would make a high key image. So really, it's pretty much out of the camera. I did a little burning in on the detail on the bird. The thing that bothered me or bothers me about the image is I had the wrong lens on, and it's not sharp. The wings are not sharp, but the eye and the feet, or the claws, whatever you call the bird has, are okay. But that's pretty much it.
Well, there's really nice detail in the beak. I see a lot of detail now. Obviously, his wings are moving. That might have been less the lens and the speed, but I like it. I think it's really cool.
Thank you, Patricia.
That is a very nice shot, and
Thank you.
very nice high key shot.
I love it too. I agree with, I think it was Patricia who was talking. I think the wings looking just slightly out of focus is due to movement more than your focus or your lens, and it lends to the movement of the whole image. It's awesome. If you print this, there's a little bit of just a little something on the far, when I'm looking at it on the far right frame. I don't know if it was background that wasn't quite washed out all the way. It's really, you can't even see it, I don't think, on here, but if you print it, you might want to take a look at it, like change the levels or something so you can see where it is and just clone over it or something.
It's on the right-hand side and the
Yes, sir.
upper lower corner.
All just along the whole right edge.
Okay. I know what happened. Thank you.
Sure. It's print worthy. That's why I mentioned it, because it's gorgeous.
Thank you, Holly.
All right. Suzanne.
So I just tried to do something that I could do inside the house, and to stay with the high key, I used the white rose, and after the fact, I looked up that a single white rose means loyalty, so therefore the name. But so anyways, tried to do something inside the house on this one.
I like that you got high key and low key in one shot. The low key background is great. How did you get everything dark around it? Was that done in post or did you do that in camera?
I did it in camera. I had black board underneath the book and also behind it. And then that, like the picture with the bird, there were a couple of lines in there that I did have to go in and Photoshop and smooth it out.
No, it's really good. I'd like to see just the very edges of the book. They're just clipped a little bit in this crop or in this version, but that would be my only criticism. It's very well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Suzanne, I agree with Holly as far as the corners of the book, but I haven't looked at the photo, but what I see here in the PowerPoint, it looks like, did you set the book on a black board or something like that?
I did. Yeah, I had some books underneath it to give it, to elevate it. And then I had the blackboard on there. And then I just kind of tipped it just a little bit.
So is that the edge of the board that I see at the bottom running at like a 15-degree angle?
I don't see what you're talking about. It shouldn't be, because the board extended quite a ways from the book.
I think it's the book binding. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I think it's the
If
book
I'm seeing
binding.
what you're, yeah,
No,
if that's what you're talking about.
no, I'm talking about right here.
Oh, I don't
yes.
see it.
Yes, it would be, because that is where I had to. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know how you see that, but yes, that would be the edge of the, yeah, that I had to do some touch up right in there.
Okay, but it looks like either the edge of the board or the edge of the desktop or whatever it is. Okay. And I was just going to say, my only comment would be to crop that, either crop that out, come up here and come across
Okay.
and crop that, because that's with, and it's just my I don't know what you call it, but a little distracting for me, but
Okay.
But
I
99 and a
don't
half other
see it on
people.
my computer, but that is where I did some touch up. So I think you must be picking up the touch ups.
Well, can you see where it says Canon EOS Rebel SL1?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I see it on mine, Victor, on my screen. I can see it.
Okay. Okay.
I just didn't want you to think you were seeing ththings, Victor. I wanted to
Well,
give you some confirmation there. You know,
I was going to take my
Right
monitor
there.
into Digital Pro Lab and get it calibrated. Okay. All right. Okay. Sharon.
The idea for this came from some of the ads now on TV are very high key. The background is all windows with a whole bunch of light coming in, and then there's people or whatever in the foreground advertising medications or whatever the heck. So I used that idea and a window that I have with a chair and book and a light to kind of give that same feeling. So it is a little overexposed to give it that feeling, but it also, there's a great deal of light that comes in that window. So the only thing I had to add was right behind the chair, there was a shadow from the window. And so I put a little light, I have a little light, a photographic light that I put behind the chair to keep that wall behind the chair from being too dark.
I like the composition, and the brown really is a super nice contrast to the very, very light surroundings. Like it. Looks like an ad though, like you
Yeah,
said.
exactly. I don't know what they're advertising, but I never do.
And the contrast in color is nice too.
Yeah, I love the touch of the green pillow and the green plant, and then the little bit of green with the brown and the blanket was very thoughtfully designed.
Sharon, is that a Christmas cactus?
It is a Christmas cactus. Good for you.
Does it, have you had it bloom yet?
No. Usually blooms, actually, I think it's probably a Thanksgiving cactus. That's when it usually blooms, is Thanksgiving.
Okay, cool. All righty. And Melissa's not here. But this is a really nice photo. The gardener's out there. What kind of flower is that?
Looks like a mum to me.
Yep, I think so too.
Yep. Okay. Got to keep you people on your toes. Eric.
So this last weekend was a event Precision Camera put on, Precision Camera University. It's a 2-day event, and it's 4 4-hour sessions with 4 different photographers from around the country. And there was probably 10 to 12 people in each of the different classes or whatever, and then they had models that came and worked with us. And this just happened to be one of the models that I was working with during one of the sessions, and we were outside, obviously, and this was in Round Rock at the Kalahari Resort. And they had put a scrim over the top of her to give her a little bit of shade, but I liked it. And I said, well, I'm going to blow this out a little bit. And for, since I knew high key was coming up, and that's what I did.
Nice. The Fuji, is that a new camera for you?
Yes.
How long have you had it?
I've had it probably a month and a half.
Okay.
Yay, a Fuji person. Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got that in an XT4.
All right. Good deal. All right. Not really nice photo. Okay. Ralph.
Yes, okay. This is down on the beach on the coast. Just gave it a little extra exposure, in post to get it into that light atmosphere. That's about it.
Like the bird landing and the others, it's a contrast to the other bird. Nice.
Yeah, gives it a little interest perhaps.
Yeah.
And there's one little bird that's looking at you. I got a kick out of him. Everybody's facing the same way except him.
So Ralph, did you take a bird out on the right side of the frame? Because it looks like there's a bird shadow down near the right side bottom, but no bird that goes with your shadow there.
Possibly, I can't say for sure.
It's hard to tell. Maybe it just is a wave, something in the water.
Yeah, if there was a bird there, he would be on the top of that shadow. So I don't know what's happening there.
Hey, that's a good catch, Holly. It does look like a bird shadow.
Holly, we're going to have to talk later.
Okay. Is Barbara here tonight?
No.
Oh, no, Barbara's not here tonight. Okay, she said she was going to be gone all month. Okay. Jim. Is Jim here?
Well, I was traveling in St. Louis a couple weeks ago and at a conference and took the afternoon off and went over to the Arch. And I hadn't planned on taking any pictures. Usually I'll take my my Nikon with me, but I just had my phone and shooting some pictures of the Arch at different angles and perspectives and things. And I remembered, about the high key assignment for the month. And so I tried a few things, and I like this one with the reflections, into the on that face of the Arch, and then the sun bright on the horizontal part going up, and just that perspective. I was standing probably 4 or 5 feet from the base right there.
That's an interesting shot to me. I like it.
Yeah, it has a real abstract feel to it.
Yeah.
And you can't quite tell if the clouds are reflected, or if they're shot through, which I kind of like that you can't quite tell. That's neat.
Yeah, there's not enough visual clues there to really give you a very concrete feel. So it gets very abstract.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Frank.
Frank's here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a couple of calla lilies that I got at HEB, and it's on a white background. And I shot it in my home studio, which means my den, and lit it with a speed light on the left. You can kind of see where the shadow is there on the right, with a little 2x2 modifier. Tried to get it as close as I could to get some soft shadows. And then on the right, I've got another speed light just lighting the background to keep it as white as I could. And wanted to do everything white except those beautiful, those callas, just to make that color pop out a little bit.
I'd say you did a very good job.
It's lovely. I
Thank
love
you.
how you position the flowers and how they kind of go up in the frame. And then the vase also goes from the short side to the tall side. That matches so well. The composition and how you've angled the actual blooms. It's really, really lovely.
Thank
you. What Holly said.
Yeah.
Exactly what Holly just said. So just wanted to, yeah.
Just one thing, Frank, you followed the KISS principle, which is very, very key here. Keep it simple.
Yep. Yep.
I like the pop of color in it. It's very nice.
You've got texture, color, composition. Really great photo.
Do you see the triangulation from the tops of the lilies down towards the stem? Has the visual triangulation there?
I didn't see it until now. It just felt right.
Good observation, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, and that is the last of our entries for the assignment photo. And our most sought after photo was by Brian.
Whoa, thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job, Brian.
Congratulations,
Well done.
Brian.
Thank you.
There you
Now
go.
I know the benefit, Holly.
And Sharon will be emailing you the Digital Pro Lab code for a $25 voucher, okay, from Digital Pro Lab.
Thank you, Victor.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay, black and white photos. And when I looked at these, I saw quite a few that I thought should have been in the assignment photos as well. Okay. Frank.
Yeah, I was I was going back and forth myself on high key or low key. So yeah, maybe I could have picked this one. This is at the Botanical Garden, 9 o'clock in the morning, and just found this little plant out there in the desert area and just stood there for about 20 or 30 minutes, waiting. Every 5 minutes, the light would change and hit it a little different. And this was my favorite of the bunch.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great texture, focus, looks great.
Yeah, your patience paid off.
Sometimes that's what it takes. And that's been a challenge for me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Holly.
This is a really old image, but it's lit using my iPad. And I was studying high key and low key and eggs. I did a whole bunch of stuff with eggs. I was learning how to use light and shape light and different light sources. And I used a little bit of modeling clay at the bottom of the eggs to hold them up. And the composition, I called this egg expectant because having everything over on the left is sort of jarring. It's not typical. And it sort of it adds a little tension to the image, compositionally speaking. So not much to it. It's a very simple, but I thought it kind of fit this month and something low key I had done a while ago.
Did you said it was an older image. Do you remember the placement of the light source?
Yeah, it was to my right.
Okay.
Because you can see the shadows on the.
Yeah, it wasn't directly to it wasn't 90 degrees though, right?
Not quite.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
not quite. It was kind of in between, maybe like at 4 o'clock on the clock. It was about 4 o'clock. And then I did have a reflector on the other side of the eggs to bounce a little bit of light back on the backside.
Okay. Yeah, I was, and that's, I'm more of a technical guy, so I like to deconstruct the images and try in my mind, figure out how they were set up and shot. So, and it always deals with where the light's coming from. So, but it's a beautiful image. So I'd say you got your studying down really good back then.
Thanks.
Jim.
Well, this is a photo. I had to look back to see when I took it. It was in 2013. And I have this bust of Washington in my office at work. And I was walking into the office one day and the sun was just right through the blinds. And I liked that, just how I just saw this as I was walking in. And so I hurried up and grabbed the camera that I had in my office. And I knew I had a very limited time. So I just took a couple shots. I liked the effect of the blinds, the shadow of the blinds, but also the shadow on the wall.
It's a very powerful image and the repetition, that is very good.
Yes, I agree. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the silhouette really makes it. And Melissa's not here, okay. And Daryl's not here, right?
Right.
Okay. Brian.
Well, I tried an experiment. This is near Maroon Bells outside of Aspen. I wanted to see what would happen if I tried the Ansel Adams trick of a black sky. And that was the whole experiment. Which my wife said, what is that white thing shooting out of the photo? And I said, no, that's the cloud. This is taken about 45 minutes after the sun came up over the mountains. So this is my experiment in trying to hit all the zones in the 10 zones using the zone system.
I love the contrast and the detail. Very nice.
Thank you.
But I'm going to side with your wife. I would just clone out that streak there.
Oh, really?
I mean, me personally, I mean, it grabs the eye, and the eye hovers around that, trying to, figure out what it is. And then, I mean, obviously, okay, fine. It's some kind of jet stream or something like that.
Actually, it's actually a cloud, Victor, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. And the only reason I kept it was for a leading line, but I can see why it would be a distraction. I was trying to lead the eye into that white area behind the mountain. But
Okay, Brian, that's a good story, but we know it's a missile launch.
Oh gosh, no, but it's a great photo.
Thank you. You think the black sky is okay? Is it too distracting?
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I can certainly clone out that missile strike.
Is that a river or a lake right there at the very bottom left?
That is the lake. It is the right-hand side of the lake in front of the Maroon Bells itself.
One thing that's curious, you used F5. I would think you would have used F8 perhaps.
Well, that's a good point. At the time I was shooting micro four thirds, and
Okay, that explains it.
yeah.
It is
Okay.
F8.
All right. Good photo, Brian.
Thank you, Victor.
Ralph.
Okay, back to the coast. Walking on the boardwalk, and that heron, he stayed in place long enough for me to take a few pictures. I thought it was photo worthy, so there it is.
Well, you've got some really nice detail on the bird, and I love how the eye stands out. Okay, if I was post-processing, the only thing I would do is come in on the crop a little bit on the left-hand side and make that pylon there more of a border than just
Yeah, I was worried about that, but I thought, well, I want to show it's a pylon and not something that extends for a long time. So just wanted to show that it was just a pylon.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think bringing it in from the left a little bit would have brought the head of the bird more in toward the
You're
rule
right.
of thirds, and it's. But I mean, I can see your point that it's a pylon and not a more established feature or something like that.
It was a bad choice. I should have cropped it in.
All righty. But really nice photo. I love the way that eye pops and the texture and the feathers.
Thank you.
Dennis,
Yeah, these are just sand dunes at Death Valley that I converted to black and white. And I just like the shadows and the various shades of gray, light and dark.
It's got a
Yes,
great,
this is just gorgeous.
Nice
Yeah.
texture in the sand too.
Low key.
sorry, Patricia.
so was this shot at night or during the daytime?
It was early in the morning. It was after sunrise, but it wasn't a whole lot after sunrise. We got there before the sun came up, and we were there for about an hour or so after the sun came up. So sometime in there.
It's absolutely stunning. The tonal range, your texture, your repeating patterns. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Agreed. Beautiful image.
It's really nice to find those locations that don't have a bunch of motor vehicle markings or footprints.
We were lucky in that there was kind of a windstorm there and it blew away everything the night before. And we had to actually walk out. We're about a mile or so out into the sand dunes to get away from most of the people and stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Dennis, how hot did it get 1 hour after sunrise?
So this was in Sharon, March. I
March.
believe. How hot was it?
In the morning, you had to dress warmly. You actually had to put mittens and hat on and things. By late afternoon, it would be 80 or so. But in the morning, it's not bad at all.
That's mild for Death Valley.
Yeah, well, March is the time to go, February, March.
Okay. Thanks, Dennis. Eric.
And this is another shot from this weekend. This was when I was with Eli Infante's group, and he was actually setting up doing some high-speed sync photos, and I was sitting next to him. So I just set my camera up as they moved there was a boom with a speed light and a softbox they had put over the top of her, and he said, okay, back that out so I can get my key shot here. And that was my moment to also grab a shot. So I just jumped up on the shutter speed, went down on my ISO and shot at the lowest f2.8 on that lens, and grabbed a silhouette.
I like that shot. That's eye catching. It's so, it's minimalistic, but it's very eye catching.
Thank you.
Eric, would there have been a way to like lay flat on the floor so you could have gotten a silhouette with nothing intersecting with her legs? Like where it was just sky behind her?
I could have, but me getting up off the ground would have been the funny part that we would have all seen the YouTube video for. So,
I hear that.
yeah. So, I mean, I did hold the camera down fairly low, for the picture. But yeah, I could have probably set the camera down on the ground, to do that as well. But I was also having to hurry since she wasn't posing for me or holding for me. She was getting direction from somebody else. So it was one of those grab the photo while you can.
But she's got a very sexy line. I mean, it's a beautiful, really nice lines in it.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to admit, when I read the title, I was expecting to see her wearing boots. I don't know why.
It was only because we were in a barn. They have so this Kalahari resort, which is very interesting, has, it's a water park mainly, but they have a barn there set up for weddings and receptions and that type of thing. And so we had gone out to use that as one of the areas to shoot with. So it was, it was very interesting to walk around. I did about 12 miles worth of walking just in the resort itself, and we didn't go that far. It was just back and forth to all the different things.
Wow. All righty. Okay, color photos. Ralph. You're muted, Ralph.
All right. Yeah, this is the annual rodeo in New Braunfels. And this fellow, he really tried to stay on that bull, and he suffered a great deal for that. He was taken away in a stretcher. He never moved once he came off that bull. So I was very worried about him. It's such a brutal sport. I really don't see the value there, but that's just me.
Wow. You
Great
see-
photography though.
A really
Cash-
nice action shot.
Oh, I took about 600 action shots of people in various positions, airborne, and you name it.
Well,
I
this
put
is
it-
a really good one. You can see his hand is still caught up in the rope, and his foot there up top is still hooked in.
And the bull's cleaning his ear with his toenail there.
Yeah.
A little too close.
Yeah, I've got a shot where those handlers, I got his hands on the bull's horns, not with this particular bull, but it's incredible the chances these safety people take there.
All right. Thanks, Ralph. Dennis.
This is in Havana. It's a flamingo dancer that we did a photo shoot in a courtyard of a church there. And actually the background and the pillars she's standing on were much brighter. And so I, had to make them a lot darker. Sort of the contrast between her and the dark background.
So you did a little burning in, did you?
Yeah, a lot actually.
But the
A
red
question.
really pops.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patricia.
Since I'm not a Photoshop person, I was wondering, did you put a mask of some kind over her, and so you could darken this closely and never get her arm or any part of her too dark?
Well, if you bring it out to 400 or 500%, then you can do that without.
Okay.
I was just gonna say her color really pops well, and she stands out really well against the background. And I like that there's still a lot of texture to see in the background without it being distracting. And my only CC is that her hand that's over her head looks like a different shade of skin, that arm might need a little work to match
Oh.
her other skin tone.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It was just a little bit of the burn got on her arm.
Yeah, possibly, right.
Okay, thanks, Dennis.
I didn't notice it, but you're definitely right. So.
Eric.
All right, so this is the young lady that was in the barn door. We had moved inside, and I just really liked the texture of this wall, and flash was overpowered, but since we were high key this month anyway, I didn't mind it being overblown a little bit, but I just like the texture of the wall, and then her makeup and everything just pops out of it really well. It was, like I said, it was a great weekend. If they do it again, I highly recommend anybody that can go for 2 days and go through 4 different instructors. It's worth the time, because we had 2 that taught about using off-camera flash, and then the other 2 taught about working with natural light. and they provide all of the lights, all of the triggers and all that kind of stuff for you. So you don't have, the only thing you need is a camera and a memory card and a fully charged battery. I highly recommend that part. But it was a lot of fun.
Good deal. Okay. Holly.
This is the cicada that I happened to catch before he hopped off and emerging out of the shell, and kind of got it on the stucco. It's maybe just a tiny bit overexposed. I really wanted to get all of the detail. And it is focus stacked. I think it's 4 or 5 images focus stacked. And it was taken last month, I think in September, on my back porch.
That's
Very-
great detail.
Very well done.
Thanks, guys. Wasn't sure on the crop. I'm never quite sure how much I'd like to get as close in to see all the detail, but also just leave a little bit around the edges. So that was the one thing I wasn't sure about.
Holly, was this with the 105 macro?
Yes, sir, it was.
So how did you got sharpness from foreground to background? That's excellent with a macro.
Thank
Great.
you.
Very,
I did use a tripod this time. I could have lowered my ISO, but I was really wanting to get as much detail as possible and let so I did take, I think it was about 5 images and focused kind of back to the front and then combine them in Photoshop.
oh, you did stacking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, the ISO 2000 on a 750 is nothing. So it's clear and sharp as possible.
Yeah, that's really nice, Holly.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, your crop is great.
All right, Jim.
Well, this is one that I also took a long time ago, but this one I was intending, trying for the high key effect. This is my daughter at Halloween. She was dressed up as a Greek goddess, and I had seen some similar images recently, or around that time. I was trying to recreate and trying to learn how to do the same effect.
Well, it's a really nice photo. You did a really great job. You've got the highlights in the eye. How much post-processing did you do?
I don't remember. It was about 8 years ago.
Okay, all right. But it's an excellent high key photo.
Thank you.
I love the softness of how the light wraps around her face and hits her lips, and it's just very pleasing.
Yeah, the low contrast is really makes it all come together.
Beautiful shot.
Thanks.
I gotta tell you, Jim, I think this photo would have gave Brian a bird photo a run for his money.
Too bad those rules.
Okay, and Melissa's not here. Okay, let's see, and Daryl's not here. And Brian.
Brian is here. Well, this is probably one of my favorite sunset images. This was in La Jolla, and I just happened to catch this seal closing his eyes, enjoying the sunshine, and it's pretty much straight out of the camera.
It would seem you were pretty close.
Say that again?
You must have been pretty close, but it's an excellent shot.
Oh, I think I was about 10 feet away.
I love the detail. You can see practically every hair. He looks so calm. I wouldn't think you were that close for that reason, but he's totally ignoring you.
Oh, he is.
And you had the background nice and soft, so he stands out very well.
Thank you.
And the color palette with the sun works so well. It kind of has that nice rich fall tones, and he just looks like he's smiling, like so happy, basking in the sun. Such a cute shot.
Thank you.
Really nice shot. Okay.
Thank you, Victor.
Barbara's not here.
Well, that brings back memories.
It does. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. 2021 assignment themes. That brought us to the end of our color assignments. So the 2021 assignment themes, we've made it through October. We've got 2 more months to go. I tell you what, about the last week or so, you've had a couple of really great stormy weather opportunities. And probably got some more coming up here in the near future. So something to think about. Maybe some lightning strike photos or something like that. But for November, humor is the assignment. Okay. And it's not the end of the meeting yet. We got some housekeeping to do. Let me unshare the screen or stop the share. Okay. I am going to, there we go. Y'all remember last month we had the meeting at the New Braunfels Library, to where some of us met there and some of us still met over Zoom. That meeting was a trial run to see the logistics and how everything would work out. And we learned a few technical things that we needed to correct to make the presentation easier to go by. So hopefully with those corrected, November, we're going to do another one at the library. But we'll send out, we're going to send out a letter to see who would like to attend the library. But we're still going to keep the numbers low, okay? Because it's still a trial run to see if the issues that we experienced technically have been corrected, and everything works out really well, okay? And if we have a really good run in November, then maybe in December, we can, well, we're not sure where we're going to be in December yet. So we'll see how it works, okay? But if you remember at the last meeting, Percy Morgan came to the library, and those of you that were actually at the library, you saw he had some backdrops that he was selling because he is downsizing his photography gear because he is moving out of state. So he's trying to reduce the amount of stuff he has to actually move with him out of state, okay? He also has a Nikon field scope if anybody's interested in digiscoping for sale. And he has a Nikon 24mm tilt shift lens for sale. I I have a list of the items, the backdrops and the lenses that he has for sale. I'm going to cut and paste this info and copy it to a group-wide chat that you will see here in pretty soon, if I can figure out how to send it. There we go. So if you open up your chat, you'll see I just sent a listing of the 2 lenses he has for sale and all the backdrops that he has for sale. Okay. All right. And his contact info is at the very top. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't put a space. It's Percy Morgan. And then you need to put a space. His email address is thephotographer46@yahoo.com. Okay. All right. Now, I want to share with everybody that if you have items to sell, I know back when I was on Facebook, we had an album dedicated to where you could post pictures of what you wanted to sell and put a little description of what it was in the remarks section, or we really never had a problem with you just posting the item in the feed. The problem with the feed, though, is once it comes up, you might see it, you think, well, I'll go back and look at it. But then trying to go back and find it, because the way they do the feed, in my experience back then, sometimes you couldn't find something you saw one time after you saw it and moved on. That's where the album, it would always be there, and you could always go into the group's album and see what the items for sale was. And if you're not comfortable doing that on Facebook, then at the meetup site, you're more than welcome to post, go in, create your own album, items for sale, okay, post it there, okay. All we ask is that if you sell it, come back and delete the photo or put a comment sold, okay, all righty. So with that said, I am going to close a couple of things here. I know we've had about 4 people drop off since the beginning of the meeting. Let me get my view up to. No, that's not it. No. Okay. Ralph, you have anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Sharon?
No.
Okay. Dennis? Holly?
No, sir.
Okay. Martin?
Nothing here.
Okay. Jim? Anthony?
No, sir.
Okay. Brian? Suzanne?
So I don't have anything.
Okay. Patricia?
Nope.
Jerry?
No, thank you.
Okay. Sandy?
No, thanks.
Okay. Eric?
No, thank you.
Okay. Michelle? Michael? I know I saw him. Am I missing somebody? I'm sorry, guys. My screen is, I got too many windows open. If I miss someone, I'm sorry. But I guess that brings us to an end. Holly, can you stay on for just a couple of minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the meeting to an end. And okay, and Holly, since the meeting's over, you can stop recording.